show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Bass in your face. Bass in your face.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or are watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions. But not everyone uses logic. So, for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Okay. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who already subscribed to the channel. Whether you've been a supporter from day one or recently joined as late as today, I really appreciate all the love and all the support all of you have given me. Also, want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media. Your continued support really touches my heart. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices and all those who watch from the clouds, including the haters, which are really our secret fans. So, what I'm going to ask you to do, if you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, hit the like button, and set the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on playback. Now, most of you have heard regarding the so called controversy regarding the platform known as TikTok. And there is currently an effort to pass a bill which it succeed that will ban TikTok from use in the United States. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be discussing the topic. But before we do that, first of all, huge shout out to all those who are already watching. Okay. And also, I want to let everybody know that the link to join the panel has been pinned. Should anyone wishes to join the panel at any point during the stream, all you gotta do is hit that link and you can join the panel. Let me remind everyone that if you have never been here before, or if I don't know anything about you, I will insist that you come up in the backstage to make sure that no one flashes anything inappropriate which will cause the good people of YouTube to take down their stream. So, uh, we're, it's been a while since we had someone acting stupid, but I guess we're going to have another episode of what the heck this is. Now, some of you are wondering who is the recipient of the latest version of What the Heck This Is reward. Okay, it is a driver from my share rider service, which is known as Accessoride, more humorously known as Stressoride. For the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with it, Accessoride is a share service where people who are physically disabled or disabled otherwise, who are not, for whatever reason, are not able to use public transportation to get around from point A to point E. They have this type of service where a driver will pick them up and take them to their destination, and then the passenger will pay the normal fare for a ride, which is currently $2.90. Now, let me explain to you what happened. Someone came to pick me up this past weekend, and the problem was there was already two passengers sitting in the back seat, and the driver, for some reasons that only God knows why, wanted me to sit in the back while there was not enough room for me. And I requested to sit in the front right side because there was no room. Well, the driver refused, and I ended up started arguing with him. Then I have to, like, the driver, I have to call the base to complain. And then lo and behold, lo and behold, this idiot tried to move the video when my foot was freaking outside with the door opened. Okay, and I see here we have a comment. Good evening, Gigi. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, you know what? It was pretty dangerous for me to get on the accessory because this idiot tried to move the vehicle while I'm not fully inside. Okay, so I'm arguing. The other two passengers are telling the driver, let him sit in the front right side. No, but the driver wanted to be an a-hole, and no. So eventually, I eventually left the vehicle because there's no way I was going to try to squeeze in. Plus, there was no room in the vehicle for me. And I see here we also have Keisha, our dreadlock diaries. Okay, so eventually what I had to do was I had to grab an Uber to get to my destination because they were talking about sending this lunatic back to pick me up. And it's like, no, no, no. Okay. I would rather walk from here to Washington D.C. with my bum knee. Okay. Well, thank you very much for stopping by. Okay, Sean. So and for those of you who live in New York, okay, you heard horror stories about accessory, or as I like to call it, stress ride, where they're either too early, they're too late, or they leave the passengers stranded. Okay. Unfortunately, um, due to the condition of my knee, I'm more and more dependent on this mode of transportation from point A to point B. Okay, so that is my take regarding this individual. And believe me, I called the base. I also called accessory to complain regarding this poor excuse of a driver. Okay. And the fact, and again, let me make this perfectly clear, there was not enough room for me. And anybody sees me, I'm old, I'm big, and I'm fat. Okay. So how the hell on earth you expect me to somehow shoehorn my way into the backseat? Would someone please explain that to me? Please. So I would love someone to explain that to me. So, I mean, unfortunately, that's the situation here because one of the problems is with our subway system. Not all the subway stations are ADA, that is accessible to the disabled. Okay, and technically I'm disabled because I have um, an arthritic left knee, and I need a cane in order to walk to get around with. But that being said, um, we're gonna have uh, another episode of In My Words. Okay, now of course we all been, of course we hear, we continue his situation regarding what's going on with the migrants here, not just in New York, but also in other cities. And of course, one of the big issues. Okay, oops, I'm sorry, I'm not going to talk about that. I apologize. Now, I want to before I get into the main topic, you're going to see in the description below there are two links. The first link has to do with a stream. My first live stream that I did back in August of 2021, which I spoke about whether there is censorship in YouTube. Okay. Now, why did I decide to link this? Because I think what's going on with TikTok is also a situation of censorship. All this has to do with the fact that our data has to be protected because, heaven forbid, we should use TikTok and the Chinese government can gain access to our data. So that is the issue. Also, the second link that I put in the description is the link to my other channel, which is Latina Diasparra. Okay. Now, not many of you are familiar with this second channel. One of the reasons is because I have not posted a lot of content within the last year. And the reason why I have not done that because I've been focusing my energy to try to strengthen uh, my main channel, which is Uncommon Sense with Hossein Negron. Now it's stronger, it's more vibrant, it's grown. So now I'm able to devote time and energy regarding my other platform. So, and I'm going to be doing a live this Saturday afternoon at 6 o'clock. It's not going to be long. I'm just going to keep it. It's just be a short stream. The whole point is to try to reintroduce the platform to the uncommon folk and to all the great people who have continued to support it. My channel, I really appreciate it very much, and I thank you all very much for your love and support. I would appreciate it if you would check out, the other channel and subscribe. Okay. One thing you're going to notice that the same rules apply with Latina Diaspora as with this channel. Everyone is welcome to express their views as they see fit. I don't run it as an echo chamber. Uh, all I ask is that keep being mutually respectable with those that will be on the chat and those who will be on the panel. Okay. And of course, anyone new will have to come up in the backstage to make sure that no one flashes anything inappropriate. Good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by. Okay, so so with that being said, we're gonna get into the main topic. Okay, so as I stated, the main topic: what is the issue with TikTok? Okay, now it seems like this platform, but is like if it's not the number one platform for the young people, it's one of the top platforms. You see a lot of people in their teens and in their 20s. uploading content on TikTok. Okay. Now, TikTok is actually owned by a company that's known as ByteDance, which is a Chinese company. Okay. Um, Now, recently, there was a bill that was brought to the House, of which, if it becomes law, uh, TikTok would be banned from use in the United States. If ByteDance does not, within a 180-day period after the bill becomes law, this platform will be banned. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but in my personal opinion, this is censorship. Okay. And the whole thing is to protect our data. First of all, okay, let's keep it real, folks. Let's keep it real. There are many companies that selling our data to, to different people already. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna ban those companies as well. And also, when it comes to what you air or what you not air, I mean, I think people, well, for the most part, um, they know what, or better yet, they should know what the air or not air. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just give me a moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share an article. Excuse me. Now already there's certain countries that has banned TikTok. Now, excuse me. Now last year the state of Montana tried to ban TikTok. It was not successful. Okay, so now they're trying again. Okay, I'm going to give you my personal theory why this is done. They're doing this. It's not because Congress is all of a sudden is concerned regarding our personal data. Okay, when you think about all the stuff that Congress, the House, the Senate can do, okay, to create legislation that will actually help ops. One of them can be bringing relief regarding student loan debt. Another one could be dealing with prescription medication, um, curbing the pharmaceutical companies from making huge profits. Another one could be trying to end the gun violence that's happening in the United States. But no, Congress cannot do anything. What Congress can do is two things: try to impeach Joe Biden for why I don't know, and come up with this insane bill. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share an article. So just give me a moment. And we're going to take a look at countries which have already have banned TikTok. Okay. So just give me a moment. Now, this article comes from a website known as Euro News. Okay. Just scroll down. And the article is which countries have banned TikTok and why? You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they go after Facebook as well. I mean, it's like, whatever happened to freedom of speech? Okay. I mean, it's like, it's like the inmates are running the asylum. I mean, when you think about it. But let's go over the article. Many countries are concerned about TikTok's security and the platform ties to China. The United States is the latest to push for a ban. Australia has become the latest country to ban TikTok from federal government devices as concerns grow over privacy and security of the Chinese owned video sharing app. The United States, Canada, Britain, and New Zealand, which form with Australia, the so-called Five Eyes intelligence sharing partners, have taken similar steps against TikTok in recent weeks. Experts fear sensitive information could be exposed when the app is downloaded, especially on government devices. Um, Folks, we got companies that are already taking our data and they're selling it to other companies. So miss me with that. Okay, miss me with that. Okay, if you believe that, then that means then you believe in the tooth fairy. Okay, TikTok disputes account Okay, I apologize. For some reason, uh, I was kicked off the stream. So let's try this again. Okay, I guess this is going to be a struggle stream tonight. Okay, okay. So another country where, of course, they're banning TikTok is the UK. On March 16th, Oliver Dalton, the UK Secretary of State, in the oh, not again. Okay, okay. Let's see what it was like. Okay. Announced Mr. Miller, UK House of Commons and an immediate ban of their own government official devices. It's a precautionary move. We know that it's already limited to you. We have already limited the use of TikTok across the government, but it's also good cyber hygiene, the minister said in an address to the MPs. The ban is based on a report by the UK's National Cybersecurity Centre, which found there could be a risk around how certain government data is accessed and used by certain platforms. Okay. Just give me a moment because let's just make sure. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay. 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 Okay, I apologize. Okay. I will continue. Now, EU, okay, the European Union, institutions of the European Union, the European Parliament, European Commission, and the EU Council, the three top EU bodies, have all banned TikTok from their devices, citing cybersecurity concerns. Okay. The next country is France. Okay. On March 24, the French government banned the installation of use of recreational applications such as TikTok, Netflix, and Instagram on work phones of 2.5 million civil servants. The ban, which was notified through binding instruction, immediately took effect and does not apply to personal phones of state employees. And we're going to stop it, park it here. Okay. I apologize. Now, again, there's several countries seem to be concerned whether or not the Chinese government has access to our data through TikTok. Let me make this again. Let me make this particularly clear. We have companies here in the United States that take our data and then they sell it to other companies. I mean, have you ever noticed where you get these spam phone calls? Okay, I don't know about you, but lately I've been getting a great deal of spam phone calls from people claiming that they're from a utility company, or they're calling regarding some other privacy concern or things of that nature. Or yeah, exactly. See, the reason why we're getting the unwanted advertising is because of the fact that you have companies that are currently taking our data and they're selling it. Okay. And I get a lot of spam phone calls. Okay. Now, the good thing for me is that with many of the smartphones they have now, okay, they have a feature where when if you receive a phone call uh, from someone that you don't recognize, what you can do is you can set it to text mode, where it'll create an automatic message asking the caller to identify themselves. Okay. Now, one thing I noticed that many of these spam phone calls, once they do that, they hang up. Okay. So if that happens, I would suggest that if you have if your phone has the feature, um, utilize it, and then if the person refuses to identify themselves, block the call. Okay. I mean, it's now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share another article. Let me make this perfectly clear. Um, I don't think they're truly concerned regarding guarding personal data. Okay, if they were really that concerned about guarding our personal data, they will create. There are various different platforms, there are various different programs uh, created which prevents the use of malware and prevents the use of uh, dishonest people trying to gain access to our personal data. I know for one thing in my job, every couple of weeks we are given some sort of a training regarding uh, people trying to gain illegal access to our data and to our files and what to do to prevent that from happening. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share another article. Okay, just give me a moment. Now, I apologize because my computer is running a little slow. Uh, okay. Well, unfortunately, this is gonna be a struggle stream tonight. Okay. Let me just share my screen. And of course, again, if anyone hasn't wishes to join the panel and express their viewpoint regarding the subject, they can do so. Okay. Now, another issue uh, regarding the ban on TikTok is that you have a lot of young people who are making their money um, from ads and things of that nature. Yeah, I agree. Okay. So, okay, this is another article coming from a website known as The Cut. And let me just remove this. Is Congress really about to ban TikTok? Yeah, that's a good question. Last week, TikTok users opened up the app to find a pop-up message urging them to call Congress and ask their representatives to stop the shutdown of the app. The bill in question, which was passed by the House less than a week later, is the latest of a long series of efforts from policymakers to address security concerns about the Chinese-owned app. In the past year and a half, while federal entities go back and forth about the prospect of a nationwide ban, at least 23 states have limited the use of TikTok in some capacity. Bans also been introduced in cities, government affiliated workplaces, and college campuses. The idea of a TikTok ban has roots in the Trump administration, but it became a bipartisan issue with more politicians ringing the alarm about TikTok's murky relationship with the parent company ByteDance and the Chinese government. While it may seem like an overblown paranoia about a popular Gen Z app that elderly lawmakers just don't understand, some of their concerns are legitimate. Still, banning TikTok from the app stores probably wouldn't do much to keep American data safe. And here's everything to know. Why ban TikTok? TikTok is owned by ByteDance, a Chinese internet company based in Beijing. Therefore, is subject to a series of security laws that allow the Chinese government party to compel a company to hand over data. American lawmakers are worried that the Chinese government will pressure ByteDance, excuse me, what was that? To share U.S. data gathered on TikTok, which the CCP could potentially use to blackmail American journalists and politicians. There's concern that the CCP can use TikTok algorithm and whatever data that they gather to model community behavior in the U.S. to censor video, disseminate misinformation, or otherwise influence the feeds of American citizens. The idea of addressing these issues with ban first came up in 2020 when then President Trump tried to force ByteDance's hand by proposing an ultimatum. ByteDance can sell the app to an American company or it would be removed from the U.S. app stores. At one point, the administration worked out a deal to sell TikTok to an American software company, Oracle, but the deal eventually fell through and the Trump ban was struck down by a federal court. By the time Biden came into office, he rolled back Trump's executive order and began private negotiations with TikTok and its parent company. Lifestyle mostly is a hot button topic for conservative politicians concerned about TikTok relationship with mainland China and reached Democrats too. Earlier in 2013, Colorado Senator Michael Bennet wrote a letter urging Apple and Google to remove TikTok from their app stores. It's not just the policymakers, FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr and FBI Director Christopher Wray have both expressed major security concerns about TikTok. Really? Again, folks, let me make this perfectly clear. You have companies that are already selling our personal information. I mean, really. A small minority of lawmakers has spoken out against the prospective TikTok ban, including New York Congressman Jamal Brown Boltman, who likened security concern to a red scare and argued the panic is a result of Republican fear-mongering and xenophobia. Ahead of the 2024 presidential election, a handful of candidates worked TikTok security into their platforms with various degrees of conviction. During the September town hall, Big Check Friends family likened TikTok to additional fentanyl from China, but then joined the platform 5 days later, and campaigning also on TikTok despite the administration concern. During a GOP debate later that month, Nikki Haley called TikTok one of the most dangerous social media assets that we can have. At the Republican primary debate in December, Haley made an outlandish claim that for every 30 minutes someone watches TikTok every day, they become 17% more anti-Semitic and more pro-Hamas. Really? Really? Well, I don't know what you can't make up this crap up for us, folks. You cannot make this up. We're talking about an app which is hugely popular with the Gen Z crowd. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to skip to the next paragraph. Many college campuses, states, and even a few cities have banned TikTok in some capacity, though only in relation to their own devices and networks. All at least 33 states have banned the app on state-owned devices and networks, and several dozen colleges and universities have made it unavailable on campus. Wi-Fi networks, cities including Charlotte, Baltimore, Denver, and New York City have prohibited local government employees when using the app on their work phones. In May, the governor of Montana tried to ban the app on personal devices statewide, but the TikTok filed a lawsuit, and a federal judge blocked the bill, arguing that it oversteps state power and likely violates the First Amendment. At the end of 2022, Biden signed off a bill prohibiting TikTok usage on devices issued by the federal government. Still, as things stand right now, students and government employees, not to mention everyone else, can continue to use TikTok on their own personal devices. Now, here's an interesting question: would a nationwide ban work? Ian Caucus, a media studies professor at the University of Virginia, who specializes in tech relations between the US and China, told us that last year that the likelihood of a national TikTok ban passing was extremely low. But earlier this month, she said this new bill does stand a chance since it isn't proposing an absolute ban, thus mandating the app divest from ByteDance. She also said that the probability that TikTok would manage a maneuver of it divested, though it is unlikely. If any of this legislation somehow does make it to pass by desk, Corcoran said it will most likely have to be enforced by Google and Apple, who can make updating and downloading the app more difficult. Although she pointed out it's not guaranteed that both companies will cooperate. Apple has a significant investment in the Chinese market. The Montana bill is not only the ban that has faced legal challenges, Texas ordinances to make TikTok off of state devices and network was challenged by the First Amendment lawyers and upheld by a federal judge. It's also a bigger problem. TikTok is not the only company wielding massive amount of user data. TikTok algorithm isn't any more opaque than Meta, Twitter, or Amazon, and isn't gathering much more data than what American platforms mine from their users. While those platforms can't be compelled to share their data with government officials, they can do largely whatever they want with it. In the US, it's quite free for all in terms of companies can gather and how they use it. Caucus said that adding that by specifying targeting ByteDance, lawmakers circumvent much of the political thorny issue of how to regulate data gathering in the US more broadly. Even as politicians rush to crack down on TikTok, regulations for domestic tech companies are noticeably lax. In fact, TikTok's ban is pretty idea for Silicon Valley. It wouldn't touch the company-owned data collecting platforms, and TikTok market will be up for grabs. Let me just check and see. Okay. Uh, Now, what does TikTok have to say about this? TikTok has repeatedly denied ever passing user data along to the Chinese government representatives have admitted that the app used occasionally to censor videos In a 2022 Senate hearing, TikTok's interim chief operating officer, Vanessa Pappas, testified that the app does not share data with the Chinese government, but wouldn't commit to cutting off Chinese employees' access to American data. Interesting. So the next thing is how hostile have things gotten. TikTok has been working with the Biden administration on and off and tried to assure lawmakers that they're keeping American TikTokers insulated from the Chinese meddling. For the past 2 years, the company has been in confidential negotiation with the Committee on Foreign Investments in the United States. In 2022, TikTok submitted a plan called Project Texas, which, in addition to moving data to US based servers, proposed measures like procuring a new security team based in the US, giving American government and software company Oracle oversight on the app algorithm and allowing CFIUS to regulate security audits. Okay, well, I'm not going to read all this. Let me just. You know what? That's an interesting question. I wish I knew. Don't choose testimonies seem to indicate how gravely concerned lawmakers were. Policies targeting TikTok falter at the following months. The bill, which the White House has supported, lost momentum, and in the fall, CFIUS, which reportedly went back to the negotiating table with Biden's attorneys. It is not clear what, if anything, emerged from those talks, but recent events suggest that they didn't go far. On March 7th, the House Special Chinese Focus Committee voted 50-0 to approve a new bipartisan bill that required ByteDance to solve TikTok in 162 days. If the app does not divest, it will be illegal in the App Store operators like Apple and Google to make it available for download. TikTok responded to the bill, pushing a message through the app, which prompted users to enter their zip code and provide the names of their local congressional district represented. Some people reportedly got push notifications and said TikTok is at risk of being shut down in the U.S. Call your representative. Yeah, now you know what? It probably might be mentioned in one of the debates. I really don't know. So, and we're going to park it here. Okay. So basically, that is the whole situation in a nutshell. Okay, there's another article, but I'm not going to share because it's basically it's just going to be just repeating the same information. Now, I'm going to give you my personal opinion about it. Okay, I don't think TikTok is going to be bad. Okay. First of all, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that the ban does go in the fact there is an option where they can go to the Supreme Court and have the Supreme Court hear this case. One thing they might do is like put a stay regarding the ban. Okay. And I think even with this conservative court, I think they would declare the ban unconstitutional based on freedom violation of freedom of speech. Okay. And let's see. Okay. Um, like I said, I really don't think the ban will go on the. Okay. And again, let me make this perfectly clear. Um, it will be banned if ByteDance does not, and I repeat, does not divest itself of TikTok. Okay. And one thing, and again, I gotta keep stressing this point, folks. We already have companies out there that's selling our personal data um, for other companies to buy. Why do you think we keep getting all these um, ads, in our emails? Why do you think we keep getting these phone calls from companies trying to sell us stuff? Why do you think? Okay, it's because our data is being sold to other companies. Okay. Again, if Congress was really, really concerned about, okay, um, they will put, they will, strengthen companies that will provide cybersecurity. Okay, but banning TikTok is not the solution. Okay. Now, one thing we have to bear in mind that when it comes to data, yeah, I agree. Okay. First of all, you control what gets published and what does not. Okay. And one thing we have to understand that anything that we put in any platform, whether it be Facebook, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Instagram, whether it be TikTok, whether it be Rumble, whether it be Snapchat, whether it be WhatsApp, or any other type of platform. Once air, you you publish that data, you publish the video, it remains in the internet. Okay, even if you delete it later on or private it, people have already seen it. Okay, and people can take screenshots. Okay, so what I would suggest to you is the following: be mindful of what you air on a platform. Okay, again, be mindful of what you air on a platform, because whatever you publish remains in the internet. Okay, look, it's not a question um, if I like TikTok better than YouTube. I think, there are different applications. Now, one thing I have not learned how to do is do a stream on TikTok. Okay, that's something I'm gonna have to learn how to do. I know that there are certain people that are able to do um, live streams on TikTok. I'm not sure how that's done. I think it has to do with the number of followers that you have or subscribers or what have you. Okay. Uh, I think what I will do is I will look up videos in YouTube. I mean, basically, believe it or not, that's how I learned how to do. I mean, how many people learn how to do many things. Okay, that's how I learned how to. Okay, how to do StreamYard, how to do. The one thing I have not learned how to master very well is editing. Okay. Okay. I need to learn how to do that. Okay. I just want to know, is there any certain platform or certain that I can use to editing um, videos or things of that nature? Um, you know, those of you who follow me on Instagram, if you will hit me up and give me some sort of direction, I would really appreciate it. Or even email it to me. Of course, I'm not going to publish my email here because I don't want to expose myself to some members of the circus out there or the mentally and intellectually challenged um, trying to communicate with me and communicate nonsense. Now, I have been talking for almost an hour. Now, I like to pose this question, okay? Which is, do you honestly believe that TikTok would be banned? Or another question, do you think TikTok should be banned? Okay. And if so, why? Okay. I am not going to criticize you. I'm not going to attack you if you truly believe that TikTok should be banned. I mean that is your point of view, and of course here we do respect everyone's point of view, even whenever we disagree. Okay. Or maybe you think maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. Um, if you want to hit the panel, you can do so. Or if you just want to continue with adding your comments in the chat, you're more than welcome to do that. Okay. If no one adds any more comments, uh, I will wrap up the stream. Okay. But I will say this again. Um, how put this in a more fuller content? Um, I would ask you to please hit the link regarding my first live calling stream, which I actually had a panel on the topic. Is there censorship in YouTube? Okay. Now, what I did was I gave some examples where certain people had did censored uh, data in the case of war. Okay. Irby, my personal opinion, for whatever it's worth, I don't think TikTok is going to be bad. Okay. Um, what might happen is TikTok might be sold to an American company, or it might go through some sort of change. Maybe they will not deal. I mean, I just don't. I mean, that's just my okay. That's just my humble opinion. It's not based on fact. It's just simply expressing an opinion. Okay. I don't think when everything is said and done, TikTok will be bad. Okay. But in my first live call-in show that I did talk about um, whether or not there is censorship in YouTube. We also gave some examples where uh, the government, in cases of war, can limit access an, to data, as far as publishing data, as far as publishing articles. Okay, with the understanding that publishing certain data or certain information might render aid to the enemy. Okay. So that's something to consider. Okay. I think the stream is like about 2 hours long. So, I would encourage you, if you don't have the time sit down for the entire stream, but just chop it up in 30-minute cycles, and then you can see over 3 days or 4 days. You see, another reason why I have an issue with this ban of TikTok, because if they can get away with doing that, then you're talking about possibly banning YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Rumble, and all the other platforms where you're able to produce videos or some sort of content. Okay. And to those who are actually um, in favor of this ban, what you are doing is you are favoring censorship. Okay. And I don't want to talk about going down the slippery slope, but I have a huge problem with it. Okay. I do think platforms should um, enforce these guidelines equitably across the board regarding content which should be aired and which should not be aired. I do believe in that. Okay. However, banning TikTok or banning any type of platform, uh, that's a huge red flag, and that will cause um, Congress to ban other platforms. And this is and folks, this is the crazy again. Okay, they cannot they cannot they cannot provide nonpartisan support for ending gun violence. They cannot provide non-partisan support regarding femicide. They cannot provide non-partisan support to end human trafficking. They cannot provide non-partisan support regarding relief to student loan debt. But yet, they can get together to ban a platform. Really? And that does not bode well with the state of politics in our country. That is a shame. Okay. It does not bode well. And it's really sad when you think about it. But like I said before, that is just my opinion. Okay. Exactly. They don't look. Let me tell you something. They don't care about us. Okay. What they care about is their okay. What they okay. I agree. What they care about is look. They care about their jobs. They care about getting corporate money. Okay. And that's all. They don't care about us. Okay. And again, as long as we have this two-party system and no third-party candidates, this is going to continue. That's the sad part. Okay. And unfortunately, what's going to happen is people are going to become illusioned. Okay. People are going to think that they won't matter. Okay. And what it does, it enables the politicians to continue with this crap. Because that's what it is. Crap. Okay. So, let's see. I think there is another comment. Yeah. Okay, and And just for your information, I did do last year a stream regarding our vote, and there's certain places where our vote does matter greatly, mainly when it comes to like local elections, when it comes to like the school, like the community board, the school board, um, to a certain extent, your representatives in the city council. But then once it gets to like in the House and the Senate, uh, our vote doesn't count as much. And unfortunately, when it comes to the presidential elections, I mean, unfortunately, it's decided by the Electoral College. Okay. And we already know states like New York, California, more or less the Northeast, and other countries are going to vote blue. Okay. So it's like, and of course, we as a people, most of us are going to be are like sheep, and we're going to blindly report support our parties, whether it be Democrats or Republicans. Okay. Both parties uh, have issues. And of course, again, we have another presidential election, but basically it's going to go down to the argument regarding two old grumpy men. One that's a little bit slow, the other one that's delusional. I'm gonna let you decide who's who. Okay. And again, I said it before and I'll say it again. Both these candidates suck. And for different reasons. I think if we have another Trump administration, it's just basically it's going to be a revenge tour regarding everyone that crossed Donald Trump, and it's going to be a hot mess. And if Joe Biden get elected again, it's not good. It's going to be a little better, but it's not going to be that much better. So it's like it's basically it's going to be the same old, same old. So that's the reality we got to deal with. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift my focus from this topic to be talking about what I'm going to be sharing regarding tomorrow's sharing. Okay, most of us have at least one smartphone. Okay, whether it be an Android or whether it be an Apple. Okay, so the question is regarding which type of person are you? Are you an Apple person or an Android person? Okay. Um, actually, the first smart actually the first smartphone I got was actually a BlackBerry. Okay. BlackBerry no longer continue to make those phones, but basically that was like the first smartphone I ever had, and of course, compare the Blackberries then to today, it's basically like an old antique. And then I did have an iPhone for a while. Um, I happen to be an Android person because for me, Android is easier for me to use. Okay, I'm not going to downgrade anyone that has an Apple or whatever. I mean, I guess it all depends what your personal preference. So I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow. Okay. I'm also going to be doing a stream on Thursday. Um, I don't know whether it's going to be just another issue or open discussion, or I might come up with an actual topic. Okay. Um, any case, I will announce tomorrow what will be the topic um, for Thursday's stream. Okay. And again, I'm going to encourage you, um, if you have not done so, please check out my other channel, which is known as Latina Diasparra. Okay. There is some content there, not a lot, but there's some. Okay. And so again, I'm gonna be live on Saturday at 6 o'clock. I just need to come up with a schedule how to fix that in. I'll probably be doing at some point at least one stream or two during the week. Okay. It's going to be a bit of a challenge because that means I'll be producing content 4 times a week instead of three. And look, for those of you who are not familiar, okay, it's not simply opening up StreamYard, setting up a string, and then get behind a computer and just talk your head off. You do have to have a topic. You do have to have some research material prepared so you can share with your audience. Okay, I mean we have too many people that basically all they do is have a yak fest. Okay, that's not me. Okay, well, in any case, I will be live tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Okay. In any case, I really do appreciate all those who actually watch the stream live or watch it on the playback. Okay, and and of course, all of you are welcome to enter your comments in the playback. All I ask is keep it respectable, please, because if you don't, they're gonna get deleted, or Facebook or YouTube will delete it for me. Okay. But as always, I do appreciate everyone either watch it live or watch it on the playback. So, what is my take on it? I don't think TikTok is going to be bad. I think they're going to come up with some sort of a working solution. Um, we shall see. But I don't see them batting TikTok. So, with that being said, I'm gonna put this stream back. Okay, and whenever you do, people, think for yourself. Do not allow yourself to mindlessly follow other people. Uh, toast together. Okay. But in any case, thank you very much for allowing me to air my point of view. Okay. And of course, um, I'm gonna close with the same way that I always close. We must do everything possible to reduce our influence with the mentally and intellectually charged. Because if we fail to do so, we'll be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Wishing all of you good night, take care, be the best version of yourself, and peace.